Alright, here's what to do when changing a pump. It's very simple. You hit the home button to turn it on, fire it up by hitting confirm, and it says, uh-oh, connection timeout. Hit OK to check the pod. So we're going to hit OK.
Then you got to move it close to you.
Then we move it close to the pod. It is successful. Hit OK. And now look, now we have this screen. And now this is automatically popped up. So we're just going to hit OK. And we're going to change the pod now. So what you do is you hit home.
More action.
Go down to more actions. Hit change pod. And we are confirming that. Hold it close to the pod. And what you're going to see now is that it's deactivated and you're going to want to remove the pod. Alright, now that the pod's removed, you hit next. And now look at that. No active pod. Would you like to activate a pod now? Of course we would. So what you're going to want to do is take the new pod, fill it with insulin, as we will do now. Pause it. Alright, always leave the pod in there until we're ready. So what you do is you take this out. There should be a needle right up here at the top. I know, I took the pod out. Just put it right back in there. Take the needle, put it in there, screw it in there, take the top off, Hem-o-lok pin, stick it in there, upside down works the best. And now these pods won't work unless you have a minimum of about, let's say 125 in here. So we're going to draw it out, slowly, very slowly. If you go too fast, it puts a lot of air in it. Okay. So, you know, I went down to about 150, but I got a big air bubble in there, so that should be plenty. Next, you put it in, right here, there's an arrow up here at the top telling you exactly where to put the insulin. So you put it in here, and once you put it in here, you're going to listen for 2 beeps, and it actually tells you this on the screen. So you push it down, and we'll listen for 2 beeps. Okay, 2 beeps means it's full and ready to go. Pause it. Alright, so now that the pod is full, we're going to go to here and hit next. So we're going to move this closer because we have an error.
No, you have to press it that way.
Well, you need to tell them, sweetheart.
Okay. Has to be that way.
Okay. It has communicated successfully. So now it's going to prime. Alright, now priming usually takes about a minute. And once the priming is done and it all loads, this will be your next screen. It wants you to take the cap off. Okay? So once I take this off right here, we want to make sure that there's no needle sticking out of the top. It actually has a picture of it. If you have a needle or a cannula sticking out, then that means it's no good. So, as you can see, nothing sticking out. We're ready to take the adhesive off. But first, I want to clean off the spot. Cleaning off her leg. That'll be our little sight spot. Get good and clean. Alright. So it's got 2 adhesives here. All you do, 1 and 2. Now, the skinny part aims to the top because we've had a lot of issues with it, with the flat part being on top with her taking her pants off. It flows smoother if the skinny pointed end is pointed up. Alright, so what you do is you place that down gently and you be very careful. This is probably the hardest part, is don't get any wrinkles as you smooth it out. Got a little tiny one there, but I can work around that and make sure it's on there. Okay, now that everything's on, we hit next, and our next screen says remove the adhesive, which we did, and if it's okay, apply it to the site, which we did. So now we hit next, and after we hit next, the screen will say, you want to start this thing? And yes, we want to start it. So hold it close to her. It's just going to automatically insert it, and she'll probably give us a little squeal because she doesn't really like it. And she has done it, and we're waiting. That is all there is to it. Okay, now it wants us to make sure that everything is okay. Everything looks good. It's got a little window up at the top, and that'll tell you. You can actually kind of see that little needle / cannula down in there. So it wants to make sure everything's entered in there, and it is. And we are ready to roll. You have just inserted a pump.